That's right. Last night, the triumphant return of the product herself, Angel Reese, finally made her way back to the court. Funny, a lot of questions going on out there around Angel the last month or so. Like, what in the bleep is going on? Exactly. Why aren't you playing in games? We heard it was a back injury.
Chicago treated the night like it was a title celebration. The phrase Barbie's back was everywhere, on ads, social media, and in the hype leading up to the game. Then Angel Reese made her long-awaited return to the court. But by the final buzzer, Chicago had suffered its 5th consecutive defeat, dropping to 8-26 and sinking further from playoff hopes. What grabbed the most attention wasn't her points. It was the block she took on national TV.
Angel low in her head. Oh! Has liked her spots here and likes her chances there.
But critics didn't miss the irony. Chicago's supposed star walked away in the middle of a losing skid, returned with talk of personal growth, and even put up 19 points, 7 boards, and 4 assists. Still, it wasn't enough to stop yet another meltdown. In the end, all that heavy marketing hype ended up backfiring for Chicago. What do you think? Does Angel Reese really make the team better? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it.
Again, it appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realized you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting unrivaled. It looked like it was happening again. But look what we have here. Look what we have here. Angel Reese has been found. She has surfaced.
Chicago went all out to spotlight Angel Reese's return. The team's socials lit up with bold pink graphics reading "Barbie is back," building her first appearance in nearly a month into a major spectacle. They framed the matchup with Seattle as more than just Game 35. It was marketed like a turnaround moment. But once the action started, the difference between the hype and the on-court reality showed instantly.
Cans, Elizabeth Williams forces a turnover. Banna with her head up to Angel Reese. Can't put it away.
Reese described her absence as a time for reflection, saying she had learned a lot about herself. But with the team struggling, many critics felt that came off as tone-deaf. To them, it didn't sound like humility. It sounded like she had checked out when her teammates needed her most. That's why this comeback wasn't just about stats. It was about credibility, about proving whether she could still be seen as a cornerstone of Chicago's future.
So back! Bang! Hexagon, polygon, octagon, it don't matter! Turn it on for pecan! Butter pecan! Bang! Knee bound. Bang! Hasn't played in 3 weeks. Maybe her legs are fresh. She can jump higher. No! Bang! She's played in 24 games this year. She's been blocked 48 times! According to my advanced analytics, she's getting 2 bang bangs per game. Bang bang!
The game itself gave a brutal reality check. Ezi Magbeger's block, quickly posted by Seattle socials, became the clip everyone shared. Instead of a highlight celebrating Reese's big return, it turned into a viral moment mocking her comeback. She did her usual thing, talking and celebrating after routine plays, but each miss that followed only made the reaction sting more. Sure, she finished with 19 points, but what stuck with fans wasn't the box score. It was that one clip. And just like that, the hype flipped into disappointment.
How do you miss 10 games and you're still top 4 in the league in total turnovers?
I said swiper! No swiping! Bang! I know you're a better bowler than you are a basketball player, but I thought we were going to save that bowling pass till next year. Bang! You want some maple syrup with that pancake? Bang! Like Mr. SquarePants once said, you know what's funnier than 24? How about an 8-26 record?
Fans were promised this game would spark a turnaround for the Sky. But instead, they logged onto Twitter to see Reese trending for all the wrong reasons. What should have been a night of highlights turned into a meme storm. And when a comeback is remembered more for an opponent's block than the player's own stat line, it tells you everything about how the night really went.
So we missed you. We missed you, Angel. You're back. You're roaring back, and I'm sure you came back and led the Chicago Sky to victory. Okay. No? Okay. It's been a while, and I'm sure you came back to a sellout crowd that could not wait to see you. are not.
Sky fell 94 to 88, close enough to feel within reach, but still their fifth straight defeat, one that pushed their playoff chances even further out of sight. Whatever shine Reese's stat line might have had disappeared under the weight of another loss. The marketing painted her return as the arrival of a savior, but the reality told a different story. Chicago didn't just promote Angel Reese, they positioned her as a missing piece to a contender. And that's exactly where the bigger narrative begins to break down.
Only 6,724 fans showed up to the Wintrust Arena. Yeah, it holds about 9,500 fans, so we're talking roughly 3,000 fans away from being sold out to see the return of Angel Reese and the defeat of the Chicago Sky against the Storm.
Chicago's bet on Angel Reese went far beyond simply drafting a talented rookie. They shaped their entire brand around the idea of her as the franchise savior, the player who could walk in and immediately change the direction of a struggling team. Every off-season move, every headline, every soundbite pointed to the same message. This was Reese's team. On paper, it was a bold plan, but on the court, the results have been far less convincing.
We need Angel Reese so we can win. Win? Since when has Angel Reese contributed to winning? The Chicago Bravado were routinely getting their ass kicked when she was healthy. Outside of the female Suns from Connecticut who seem to be losing intentionally, the Chicago Bravado are the worst team in the league.
That so-called win now offseason is a perfect example. Instead of taking the slow rebuild route, the Sky made moves that screamed urgency. The biggest one, trading away the number 3 pick in the 2025 draft, Sonia Citron, to Washington. She's been thriving with the Mystics, versatile, reliable, and quickly becoming a fan favorite while making a strong case for Rookie of the Year Chicago. Meanwhile, brought in veteran Ariel Atkins, a proven scorer and defender, as part of the same push for instant results. The idea was straightforward. Hand Reese the keys at forward, pair her with an experienced guard, and make a playoff run. On paper, the formula looked solid. The problem? None of it has translated once the game's tipped off.
And no regrets for the rookie Sonia Citron with a magical move for the Mystics. She's fierce.
Citron. Citron, the back cut. Nice drop off the area. Fan gets the bucket.
Nice dime right there in front of the rim.
Citron is thriving in D.C., showing flashes of star potential almost every night, while Chicago stays stuck at the bottom of the standings. Atkins has been steady, no doubt, but she's not the kind of player who can single-handedly change a team's record. And if the plan was for Reese to be the missing piece to turn close games into wins, the standings tell a different story to 88 to 26 after that loss. Chicago sat near the very bottom of the league, with playoff hopes essentially gone before the season even wrapped. That's where the Reese the winner narrative starts to crack. Marketed as a player who carried a championship mindset, she has yet to guide a WNBA team into the postseason. Critics are quick to point out that gap whenever the hype resurfaces. Now, to be fair, Reese has put up strong individual numbers, averaging around 14 points and 12 boards a night. But even with that production, Chicago hasn't been able to turn her stats into wins.
When Angel Reese is on the court, the only thing you're winning is the number 1 pick in the draft. Ironically enough, if the Chicago Bravado get the number 1 pick in the draft this year, they don't even get to keep it. It belongs to the Minnesota Linkers. So not only are you stuck with Angel Reese, you also don't have a draft pick so you can select a player that actually knows.
When Angel Reese is on the floor, the only thing Chicago seems to be winning is draft lottery odds. The irony? Even if the Sky land the number 1 pick this year, they won't get to keep it. It belongs to Minnesota. That means not only are they tied to Reese, but they also lose a chance to draft another potential difference maker. What makes it sting more is the team's performance without her. In stretches when Reese was sidelined, Chicago at times looked more balanced, sharper, and even more competitive. Now, that doesn't mean she's the sole reason for their struggles. Clearly, the roster itself has major flaws, but perception matters, and the perception has been brutal. Which brings up the biggest question hanging over everything. When Reese stepped away for nearly a month during that collapse, what really went down?
Facts was she had not finished any season. Her rookie year with the Sky, she tapped out. She did not finish with Unrivaled. She tapped out, didn't even show up to the playoff games. And then this season, post All-Star break, it seemed like that is all she cared about. She realized this team stinks. Tyler Marsh is a bum. Jeff P's a bum. They all...
When Angel Reese sat out nearly a month, the explanation surrounding her absence only raised more questions. The Sky's official line was that she was dealing with a back issue. Coach Tyler Marsh even commented, if Angel didn't say, that's a story to tell. Reese herself framed it as time to reflect and learn a lot about who she was for supporters. It sounded like a much-needed reset. But for critics, the timing felt suspicious and only added to the doubts already surrounding her.
She said, I'm so happy to be back playing the game that I love. All right. So here we go, right here. This is Angel. She's going to be going down the court. Again, she's much improved from the field. She's made so much headway. Yeah. Okay. God, it's good to have Angel back. It really is. My goodness. How about right here? Angel Reese is the most blocked player in the WNBA, and believe it or not, I believe that's a real...
Reese's last game before the break was on July 29th against Washington, and she didn't return until August 19th. That was 7 games missed, right in the middle of Chicago's fading playoff push. In a season already spiraling, every absence mattered, and when she did come back, it didn't look like a slow ramp-up from a serious injury. She was listed on a 25-minute restriction, but ended up playing 26, hitting 9 of 13 shots for 19 points, with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Hardly the stat line of someone easing their way back from a major setback.
But it seems like once she made the All-Star game, she said, that's it. I've done what I had to do. I don't need to stick around for all this losing. She's been saying her back hurts. Nobody knows anything about the injury. Nobody knows. So we start calling it out. Hey, are you quitting again? It appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realize you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting Unrivaled. It looked like it was happening again.
That sharp contrast is what made the story hard for many fans to believe. Normally, when a franchise player is sidelined, there are regular updates, rehab clips, practice footage, or at the very least, shots of them supporting from a bench. With Reese, there was almost nothing. The Sky kept things quiet, and she wasn't a consistent presence courtside. That vacuum left space for speculation. Some critics labeled it as quitting or faking, while others defended it as a legitimate injury paired with a mental reset. Both narratives existed at the same time. But in the end, it was a silence from the team that allowed the controversy to grow.
Just like clockwork, Angel comes back, Cardoso's numbers go down. If I'm Cardoso, I'm wanting out of Chicago. I'm getting the hell out of Chicago. Seriously. Brittany Sykes, Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins had 24 for the Storm last night. And Angel's return. So, Angel, of course, so happy to be back, and she was welcomed back by so many fans. Oh, dearly beloved.
Then came her own words when she finally returned. Happy to be back playing the game I love. I learned a lot about myself. That's what stood out. It wasn't the typical post-injury rundown. No details about rehab sessions. No talk of treatment progress. None of the specifics fans usually expect. Instead, it felt vague. And because it came during a stretch when the team was already unraveling, that vagueness was easy for critics to spin negatively. Meanwhile, Chicago's record barely shifted in her absence. They didn't suddenly improve, but they also didn't completely fall apart. That gave skeptics an opening. Maybe the Sky weren't worse without her, and maybe her absence wasn't as crucial as her supporters claimed. To them, it only reinforced a larger pattern. Her presence doesn't live up to the star billing.